sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where the keeper of the light sounds the fog bell to signal it's time for football. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Las Vegas Raiders and the New England Patriots. On the Raiders sideline, Pete Carroll, head coach here in New England, remember, back 1997 to 99. His counterpart, Mike Vrabel, 6 years the head man in Tennessee, now in year one as the head coach of the Patriots. Mike Tirico with Greg Olsen. We're ready to start year two together in the booth. And off we go from Gillette Stadium. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. So the Raiders come out, and Greg, they make a change at quarterback in the offseason. It is now year 13 for Geno Smith, but year one in silver and black.
Mike, isn't there just something different about week one of the NFL season? I mean, after months of anticipation, debate, speculation, it all gets settled on the field. New coaches, new teams, rookies playing their first time. Man, it's just an exciting time of year, and I'm pumped to be calling it alongside you.
Play action now. It's Geno. He's going to be taken down, but there's a late flag in the backfield that might give him 15 more yards. Smith now to throw on first down. And they're going to get to him and take him down, take him back to the other side of midfield.
The offense goes from feeling really good about the previous play with a real nice pickup to then on the ensuing play ending up going the complete opposite direction. Really nice job here by the defense immediately getting back on track. What do the coaches say? Just play the next play. And that's exactly what they did.
Work to do now as they come up on second and long.
390%.
On play action, Smith. Laying out, and he made the catch. What a play. It's third and 4. From the shotgun, Smith. He gets that complete to his tight end man. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8. And the Raider first down.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on third down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
That's to the right side, and caught by Bowers. And he'll take this one in. Brock Bowers. Touchdown, Las Vegas. For Geno, career touchdown pass number 106. But his first in silver and black.
It is certainly an ideal way to start a season, Mike. You get the ball first, you come out, you look sharp, you're in and out of the huddle, you're super efficient. Not only do you take the ball all the way down the field, but you come away with 6. And I know they sure hope that this is a sign of things to come, not only for this offense today, but as the rest of this season unfolds.
7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. He fields it at the 8. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. So here come the Patriots, and Greg, they are led by their second-year quarterback, the number 3 overall pick in 2024 out of North Carolina. It's Drake May.
Mike, as I think back to opening day over my years of playing in the NFL, it didn't matter if I was a rookie or going into my 14th season. I think every player goes into that game with just a little bit of extra nerves, thinking, all right, new season, new opportunity. Can I still do this at a high level? And, man, you get through that first game, and it feels like you can finally take a deep breath and let the season unfold. There's going to be a lot of nerves in this one here today, but the team that settles down the fastest and just gets back to playing ball, they're going to have a big advantage coming away with a big win today.
Try again. It's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun. It's May. Left side, he's got Henry. And he's got about 5 on this one before he's out of bounds. And they're set up a little bit better for 3rd down.
So you come back out here after watching the opposing team score first, and what you want to do is you got to establish a little early rhythm and get the drive started. Get a little positive energy into that huddle, and what hopefully starts out good ends with you being able to get some points of your own.
That's taken in by Holland. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a 1st down.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. If you want to
nowhere to go, he is taken down.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line. What a big play there for New England. 32 yards.
Well, they've come out swinging here on this opening drive through the air, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. Generate some early chunk plays and try to get some points.
Here's May to throw it on 1st down. There's a short one to Hooper. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. From the 23, here's 2nd down and 7. On play action, here's May. I have a defender draped all over, incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down. We'll go play action with May. That's complete to Ramondre Stevenson out of the backfield. And he's going to get there. He got the 1st down, not by a whole lot, but that'll keep this drive rolling.
Now they're entering the area of the field, especially with the amount of yards they've gained on this possession, Mike, where it feels like a touchdown is critical. For the defense, settling for a field goal here, especially with the ball where it is.
And he will get into the end zone. Ramondre Stevenson, touchdown, Patriots.
What a response by this offense. It's not easy taking the field, Mike, for the first time in the game, and you find yourself already down to score. They watch their opponent kind of march down the field and score in the opening possession, and they're able now to go out and square it on up. Allows you to take a deep breath, maybe get a little confidence for your defense to go out and get a stop, and they come away with this extra point. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
The extra point is up and through. And the Patriots come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. On the return is Dylan Lowry. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Well, Greg, this was a contender for a big change with 4-13 a year ago. And boy, did the Raiders do that in the offseason, in the draft, and free agency. Maybe most importantly, with the new head coach. What does Pete Carroll bring to the silver and black?
Yeah, I think the thing that is so true about Pete is just his ability to be consistent. You know, no matter what team it was on, back in those USC days when you built that juggernaut, and then obviously the identity and the culture he brought to Seattle and their sustained success over a long period of time. He goes out, he brings in a very familiar face from Seattle. They trade for Geno Smith. They get Ashton Genty in the draft. This has the early makings of that ground and pound, play great defense, manage the game at quarterback that we saw Pete Carroll turn Seattle around pretty quickly years ago. So he's going to continue to stay true to his method, stay true to his process, And if it's anything like what we've seen before, I don't expect Las Vegas to be down very long.
Quarter 2 begins. It is Raider football. They've got it 3rd and 9 to be. In. Working out of the gun, Smith. And that is incomplete.
Little miscommunication there. Now brings up third down. It just doesn't appear that the quarterback and the wide receiver were on the same page on that last pass.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. That's Marcus Jones back to return for the Patriots. And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. So the Patriots, 4-13 last year. They make the coaching change. They find a quarterback they hope in Drake May. And all of a sudden, you bring Mike Vrabel in here, and Greg, it feels a little bit different around this Patriots squad.
It does, and listen, there's no question. In the NFL, Mike, we all know you need to be good at two spots if you want to be consistent over any period of time, and that's head coach, and they believe they got their guy in Mike Vrabel after the one-year tryout of Gerard Mayo. They feel like they finally landed on the person who can carry on that Patriots legacy, that identity, and then, of course, you need to be competitive, and you need to be set at the quarterback position. And now going into year two, Drake May, in the midst of chaos last year, Mike, he was pretty good. I mean, he did a lot of really good things with some really bad things going on around him. So they think they've got the quarterback check. They think they've got their head coach of the future. Now just continue to build that roster, build an identity of winning, and this is going to go a long way towards doing that.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 6. To throw now. May. Off-balance throw. It's complete. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
May gonna look to throw. That's to Hooper. It's complete. And he's gonna have the 1st down taken down after a short pickup of 5, but it will keep the drive going.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a 1st down.
On the handoff, Stevenson running left. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning 1st down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
We'll go right back to Stevenson. And he's going to be swallowed up again. Back-to-back runs, back-to-back losses. Now it's 3rd down.
I think a little bit of what's happened here, Mike, is this offense is having some trouble matching the level of physicality of the defense. So physically, they're getting beat at the point of attack, and I think these last 2 plays are a great example why.
After losses on the last 2 run plays, they face 3rd down and 14.
Hey, what's that? Crazy.
Out of the gun, here's May. This one, downfield, looking for Henry. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
I think as the offense comes to the sideline now, the quarterback and his wide receivers need to get together and say, hey, guys, what are you seeing out there? How can we find some open targets? Because on that last down, there was nowhere to go with the ball.
And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and we'll come out to the 20-yard line. The Raiders offense ready to get back at it. Greg, you take a step back and look at the AFC West big picture. This is historic stuff. Chiefs are going for a 10th straight division title, but you have to remember, two other teams in this division won double-digit games last year. So the question is, are the Chargers and the Broncos that far behind Kansas City?
You know, it sounds crazy. When you mentioned 9 in a row, you think, oh, they're just going to continue to run away with it. But I'm actually fascinated by this division. I think L.A. and Denver are a lot closer to this year's version of Kansas City, maybe than there's a lot of talk about around the rest of the league. So until someone beats them, you'd be crazy to not pick Kansas City. But last year it was a 4-game and a 5-game spread between them. I think this year, come down the stretch, that spread is going to be a lot tighter.
Now, Greg, I'm thinking if I'm a fan or even in the front office for the Chargers, for the Broncos, or the Raiders, do I build my team to try to knock off the king of the hill? Because you only play Kansas City 2 of those 17 games. So how do you factor that into your construction?
Yeah, I think it's such a great point. It's really fascinating to dive into. And while I wouldn't necessarily build my roster to just beat Kansas City or to just beat whoever you view as the top team in the division, you do want to find some commonalities among your 3 division opponents and make sure you are built to play within your division. That's 6 of the 17 now. Winning the division, you get you home playoff games. There's a lot on the line when you win your division and compete.
In trouble, and down he goes. New England going to take their second timeout, and they'll get together prior to the second down play. Now this is going to be a design run. They let him keep it. They will not get back to the line of scrimmage. They pick him up and throw him down for a loss. The Pats going to stop it here. They'll use their third and final timeout. Talk things over before third down. From the shotgun, it's Smith. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
These pass rushers, they love these situations where they can just pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. They knew they had a chance to put it. Into this drive, and they didn't let it go to waste.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he's on to punt for the second straight drive. On the return is Jones. That's a nice job of making things more manageable for this offense as he takes it back beyond the 25-yard line. The Patriots offense can see what they can do in the final minute of this first half. They'll work in a tie game here in the second quarter and get started with 1st and 10. He finds Hollins on the ground. And he's going to be taken down to 37.
And the Patriots, first down. First and 10 at the 37.
Mayday on 1st and 10. He's going to take a shot down the field. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half.
I'll tell you what, Mike, with this guy's speed, he's not an easy target to overthrow. So that's one of those where they're telling this quarterback, throw it with everything you got. Just lay it out there. And more times than not, he's going to run under it. But in this case, just a little bit too much on it. He winds up overshooting his man.
So, halftime straight ahead, and we go down to Scott Hansen, who has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Today is the day we've been working towards all summer, the debut of our new halftime show. So without further ado, let's roll. Our trip around the NFL starts now, and it starts with a good one in the AFC West. And it's a guy who finished with 23 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions last year, Justin Herbert. He connects. It's a 16-yard touchdown. From there, why don't we go to South Philly, look in on the Eagles as they're hosting the Dallas Cowboys. And this is Devontae Smith. A deep shot downfield, and he's right there to look it in, and they're not gonna get him. 75 yards this one goes, the catch and run for the score. The Eagles begin their title defense with a victory in the season opener. One more to tell you about. We go to Jacksonville, the Jags taking on the Carolina Panthers.
Could not ask for more from that first half. All even as we begin quarter number 3. Marcus Jones now to return. Now an opening past the 30. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The Patriots offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. Greg, this AFC East, a division that really has been dominated by the Bills. The 5 straight division titles. It's hard to see who can knock them off that perch right now.
Yeah, and I think until someone decides that that's going to change, I think you just have to assume that Buffalo remains the king of the East. And I think when you look at the bottom of the division with the Jets and New England, they're clearly in a rebuild. Quarterbacks and coaching staff trying to kind of get themselves out of the bottom of the division. Miami seems to me, I don't know if they're ready to compete necessarily with Buffalo directly, but Miami is a playoff caliber roster, a playoff caliber team. They've showed it in years past. So if anybody's ready to compete, I think it's Miami. I just don't know, Mike, if they are ready top to bottom over the length of the season to get enough wins to keep pace with a team as good as Buffalo.
And 2 new coaches at the bottom of the standings last year, the Jets and the Patriots. And, Greg, both guys who played in trouble, and he's going to be taken down. A Pro Bowler 4 years running, that is Max Crosby, working his way in to register his first sack of the new season. May to throw on second down. Pass caught right side by Henry. And he's got about 5 on this one before he's out of bounds. And they're set up a little bit better for third down. Operating from the shotgun, it's May. That's complete to Diggs. He got a lot of what he needed, but just not enough. The mark is a couple of yards shy of the first down. Here comes fourth down.
This is a great example of why staying on schedule and ahead of the sticks is so critical, because even after that big third down pickup, it's not enough for the first, and it brings up fourth down.
The field goal unit staying put. They're going to line up and go for this on fourth down. That's taken in, and he's not going anywhere. Stuck behind the line. They have turned it over on down.
You know, Mike, sometimes when you get all these big bodies in there and you're trying to find space, there's just no space to be had. Here, they try to go with their fullback, and he just runs into a wall of backs. Great job here by the defense. Critical fourth down stop.
The Raiders offense ready for their first possession of this second half. You know, Greg, early on, it's always new faces in different places. Off-season movement, what caught your eye?
I think there's so many good ones, right? You talk about Stephon Diggs. He ends up in New England. Now he's moving on to Seattle from the Rams, but I think it's the guy the Rams signed to replace him, Devontae Adams. I know he's not the youngest anymore, but watching him play in New York with Aaron Rodgers last year, with the Jets, he can still run, he can still make every catch, he can still go up and compete at the high point. I think you put Devontae Adams with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, in that offense run by Sean McVay. I think that's a sneaky, maybe not a sneaky because he's a really household name, but I think that's a great signing by the Raiders.
And always interesting from the offseason, the quarterback movement and unique ties. Some of the biggest names were or now are Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, now the guy that is going to line up behind center for Seattle, Mike, is Sam Darnold. And, of course, we all saw that incredible season he had last year in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson.
He is hit before he can get rid of it, and down he goes. And we'll get a whistle, stoppage, an injured Patriot. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Gino. That's caught left side by Bowers. And he's going to be out of bounds, well short of what he needed. And the punt team will come on for 4th down. The Raiders have their punt team out there. That one hit inside the 10, but it bounces forward into the end zone. Bring it back out to the 20-yard line. The Patriots offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. Now, Greg, you start to think about, okay, who are the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that have a chance this year? Look, it happens every year. We just have to identify who they are. Who are a couple top of mind for you as we start 2025 here?
You know, as I start in the AFC, I think the Cincinnati Bengals, and you got to think the way their season ended last year, they rattle off 5 of them straight, really on the back of Joe Burrow. We could have made the argument if they're a playoff team, Joe Burrow is the best player. I mean, he was incredible. Most weeks, Mike, he single-handedly carried that offense. Now, new defensive coordinator in Al Golden coming from the college ranks. Can he just make that defense in Cincinnati average?
There's a team under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him. Max Crosby. He works his way in to record the 2nd sack of his young career. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. And they're going to get him the 2nd time. He goes down again.
And this is a great example of what can happen when you play complementary football. The back end holds up nicely in coverage, and then that front 7 is able to wreak havoc and put an end to this play.
This one fielded out beyond the 25. The Raiders offense ready to take over once again. Now, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going for it on fourth down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. It wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35, where even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field. Because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season. The pressure gets there, and down he goes!
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
Throwing on second down, Smith. The pressure gets there again, and again he goes down. Harold Landry in there to bring him down. And that's his first sack of the year. The crowd making their presence felt. This is third down. Now, Gino. They can't get away, and he loses the football. One of the Patriots has it. And he is going to bring this one back. They force the fumble, and it leads to a defensive score. And Greg, you talked about it all week. Not just stop them with the defense, but make impact plays, and that is as big a play as you can ask for.
Yeah, and across the league, Mike, this continues to be a huge point of emphasis. Every defensive coach starts practice with takeaway circuits. How can we find ways to take the ball away? In this case, they force the fumble, scoop, score, 6 points.
So the lead is 7 now. Here in this fourth quarter, the tie has been broken. Let's see what happens on this kickoff. Bobby now to return it. Oh, he's got room past the 30. They finally get him down, but he gets all the way up close to the 40-yard line. The Raiders up. Ready to see what they can do. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Now Smith. That's into the hands of the rookie, Dante Thornton. And they will bring this into the red zone. Big connection inside the 20. It's a big play when they needed it the most. 42 yards.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Man in motion here is Tucker. Smith to throw on 1st and 10. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
This offense, they just can't establish any sort of rhythm. There's just no way to sustain any scoring drives when your quarterback is being pressured and sacked this often.
On 2nd down, Smith. They'll try to set up the screen to Genty. And the left 1st and goal. He is down inside the 10-yard line.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Las Vegas.
Here we go.
Here's Genty. And he gets to the outside and takes it in. Ashton Genty. Touchdown, Vegas. For Genty, 56 total TDs in 3 years at Boise State. And that touchdown there, the first of his NFL career. The kick is good, and that will tie this game here in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, everything we've wanted. What's in store in the remaining time? And they'll be set up well as he is past the 35-yard line. Patriots offense back onto the field for their next possession. This one, everything we could have hoped for to this point. All even at 14. They'll start this drive with 1st down. Room to run past midfield. Will score. Ramondre Stevenson. Touchdown, Patriots. That is 2nd touchdown now here in the season opener. Greg, every touchdown counts the same, but the ones you get in the fourth quarter, they are the ones that feel a little more important.
Yeah, now that pressure shifts to your defense, your offense was able to go out and get the lead here late. Does your defense have enough left in them to get one more stop?
Extra point now for Borregales. He's got it. And the Pats have broken the deadlock as they move out to a 21-14 lead. So the lead is 7 now. Here in this fourth quarter, the tie has been broken. Let's see what happens on this kickoff. Bobby now to return it. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. The Vegas offense ready to get rolling again. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Smith now. It's a short one. How about Bowers? And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and very quickly, a first down. All 3 timeouts, plus the 2-minute warning remain as we get set for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Smith. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Gino. And he cannot get away. Brought down. And that sack will bring us to the 2-minute warning. The crowd cranking it up another notch before 3rd and long. Man in motion here is Tucker. They'll drop the throw. This one finds Lockett down the left side. And they were hoping for a little more on that one. Brought down well short of the first. It'll bring up 4th down. On the shotgun, here's Pickett. Now, he'll air one out. And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on down. So now the New England offense getting ready for their next possession. And this game not quite in hand yet. Still, all 3 timeouts left for the defense, so they can't just kneel this one out. But 1 first down will essentially end the game. And that play going nowhere. The defense all over that one. They'll bring them down for a big loss.
Down back at the 45-yard line.
On 2nds down, it's May. That one complete to Hollins. And a timeout Vegas. That is their 2nd. Talk things over before 3rd down.
And after that first down throw, Mike, it's really a deflating moment of the defense. They understood the urgency of getting off the field and getting the ball back to their offense. Here we are under 2 minutes in a 1-possession game. I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
Oh, he had the distance, but it doinks off the upright, no good. And they will not be able to make this a 2-possession game.
Mike, I'll tell you, off his foot, I thought he had it the entire way. I mean, sometimes you get lucky and the ball kind of kicks in off the upright, but other times you don't. And in this case, the upright sent it right back.
They'll motion the tight end, Thomas. On 1st and 10, here's Pickett. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down. Here comes 2nd down.
It's 2nd down.
From the gun is Pickett. He'll let this one go. Deep for Thomas. And that is incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Trying to get it to his tight end, Brock Bowers. And it's going to lead to 4th down. Now, Pickett. He's going to look deep here, looking for Lockett. And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs.
Finding yourself down to your final timeout, this is the moment. This is the drive that you have to find a way to extend if you're going to claw yourself back into this game. But the defense comes up with a huge stop. and that will all but end this game.
So it's a win for the Patriots, and it's a great start to the season for Mike Vrabel. He gets win 1 as the New England head coach. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Patriots winners at home as we say so long from Foxborough.